You are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo, YouTube, what up? Welcome back to Channel Adrian TV, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before I get into today's video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post, and if you see anything you want me to react to, sports, the dynamics between men and women, or an Ask Adrian question about your own personal life, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit me up on one of my social media platforms. They'll be pinned in the description. As promised, I do still want to give y'all, motivation about working out at least once a week. Now, I have a quick story time which actually happened a few days ago, and as you can tell from the title, it comes from a family friend that I knew for a while, and how she was telling me about how her son's getting a dad bod and not aging as gracefully. So let me go ahead and give you the story. I'm in the gym working out. It's shoulder and legs, and she stops by and we start conversing, starting the conversation, and we start conversing, and she said, can I take a picture of you? And I'm like, yeah, why, what's up? She was like, because I need to send my son this because he's starting to get a dad bod. And if you could see her face, how she said dad bod, she was like, dad bod. She was like, he's starting to get a dad bod. And remember how I've always said women don't like dad bods? Now, I know there are some women who do like dad bods, but number one, the majority of women don't like dad bods. Even his own mom is expressing that to me. But the only thing is, women will settle down with a man with a dad bod. And at that point, if you're settling down with a man with a dad bod, it's more than likely you're settling down with that man because of how he treats and respects you compared to all the other men. Now, I know someone's going to be saying, well, Adrian, isn't that the point? Yeah, but if they could get that respect and proper love from that man that they want, and also a man that in shape, most women will take that rather than the guy who's doing all the right things but less attractive, less sexual appeal. That really what it comes down to. And you may be saying, well, Adrian, why does this motivate you, or why should this motivate you to work out? Because even his own mom is saying how him getting a dad bod is not a good thing. Think about that. His own flesh and blood, his own mother is expressing that to me. Now, some of y'all may be saying, and I'm not gonna say names, but some of y'all may say, that's messed up, or how can a mom do that? Number one, I think kudos to her, because if she really did send him that picture and said, hey, he's still in the gym and aging gracefully, you need to be doing the same thing. Those are the type of things parents should be doing, because as I've done in previous videos of how obesity is praised, a lot of it comes from their parents just because they're fat, they're too lazy. So the fact that she's trying to push her son to work out and age gracefully and try to be as healthy as possible as we continue to get older, because I remember I made a joke with her saying we're all starting to get old now. Those are the parents that you need in your life. That's what you need parents to do. And she said, you're killing it. I be seeing you in here every, like 5 days a week, and you're you be leaving the gym drenched, because a lot of times I hit my cardio. But what I'm trying to say is that type of respect, people value that. People value if you work out and you're aging gracefully. Now, I know someone's going to say, what about being a good person? Y'all remember, being a good person is the bare minimum. You can't hang your hat on that, because everyone should be a good person, but does this person work hard? How are they every other area in their life? Are they in shape? In other words, for a man, as I've said in a lot of my videos, your utility is your value. And if you show people that you work out, it shows them that you're dedicated, you have some type of willpower, and you work hard, especially when you get older. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of my friends, they're not aging as gracefully, so that definitely motivates me more. Hey, I gotta stay in the gym. I don't want to get fat and get titties like they do. And I'll also tell you another short story. I've had a woman, I used to work with her, I want to say 2 years ago, and I remember one day she came up to me and she said, Adrian, I wish my son's dad worked out like you did, so he would have someone to look up to motivate him to work out. And I was like, well, I always ask women this question: if that was so important, why didn't you marry a man, or why didn't you have a child with a man that worked out and took health seriously? Out of all the women I ever talked to, she actually told me the truth. She said, because of men that weren't in shape and attractive, I couldn't get them to give me a relationship. And that kind of brought it full circle to what I've been saying. Yes, women will settle with a man with a dad bod, but I would say the majority of women will prefer a man who's in shape. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 6% body fat, but you get what I'm saying. Now, these stories should not be the sole reason you work out. It should help motivate you, like a byproduct of it. So in other words, what I'm saying is I'm always motivated. I like when I get out of the shower and look at myself in the mirror, I'm proud of what I see. So that's one of the main things why I like working out. It makes me feel good about myself, especially how I look. Now, the byproducts are when women give me compliments, or when you see a woman giving you the EF. And if you don't know what EF is, I'll put it up on the screen. But stories like this, or when things like that happen, those are more the byproducts. But still, you should have that type of drive and that feeling of I want to go work out. So don't use these stories as your sole purpose for working out. Use it as a byproduct, because maybe on one day you don't want to work out. But when I run a lot of these past experiences from what women are actually telling me to my face in public, I'm like, yeah, everything I'm doing, I need to keep doing. I need to stay in the gym, because what women say and what they do are completely two things. That's why I always tell men, pay attention to that, because women will tell you one thing, but they'll do things like the stories I just told you. When they telling someone the truth, that's how they really feel. Not the PC saying, oh, I don't mind if he gets a dad bar to let himself go. You know what? One more story. I actually had a woman actually told me the reason she didn't have sex with her husband anymore was because he got fat and got titties. Just in layman's terms. So men, if my after workout videos do not motivate you, always remember, especially from my story, even your mom will judge you if you get fat. Men and women, get in the gym.